Hey, Thabreakmaster here, and I'm here today to give you my Danganronpa 3, the Future Arc, Episode 3 review. Let's go! Oh, thank Lord, baby Jesus. The babe for life, Asahina, survives. The waifu for life is alive. Y'all don't even know how happy I am. Because I was scared. I was like, bruh, you gonna kill her off already? Go kill her already? What? But luckily, it was a fake knife with some freaking tomato sauce on her freaking jacket, and you get a nice surprise because of that. They only did the whole fake death thing just so we can have the thirst, people. So we can have the thirst for Asahina. You'll get the thirst. The thirst comes out very nice indeed. When she takes off that jacket, and you see Asahina. She's hot. So thirsty. Yes. So though I'm happy about Asahina being alive, unfortunately, the Great Gozu's dead. And he was the only one I actually liked out of the whole cast so far, of the new people. They gotta kill the Great Gozu because he's just too great. And the thing is, I still suspect that freaking wheelchair girl. Even more so than ever. And here is my reason. So, Asahina ends up revealing her action to the wheelchair girl, and so does Naegi. Because the wheelchair girl pretty much reveals her action as well to everybody. But here's the thing. Her action that's supposedly supposed to kill her is she can't turn right. Now, the problem with this is that, and there's a GIF about this. If I can find that GIF, I'll link it in the description. But we see her actually is able to turn right and not die. And if you rewatch the episode, you can see that as well. So the girl is freaking lying. So that's honestly the biggest proof right there that it's just like, now she's lying. And so I'm really thinking like, yeah, you are the one. And like I said before, she has the means to let Monokuma in. She's the one that made all the security systems and everything like that. So it'd be easy again for Monokuma to just slide right in the DMs. And it'd be easier for her to kill somebody, to cover it up, to do whatever, because her wheelchair has a lot of gadgets. I mean, ask yourself, where did that freaking rubber knife come from? So I'm keeping my eye on you, wheelchair girl. But what do you guys think? Who do you think is the killer? Do you think it actually is somebody else? Or, you know, is everybody suspecting that it's the wheelchair girl? Now, on to the other big part of this episode, actually, and that is Munakata. So Munakata pretty much is now in front of Naegi after Naegi had his whole speech about what he pretty much did with that despair group of kids that was at that classroom. And that the whole thing that pretty much made him seem like he was working with the despair group, which ultimately led to this whole situation why everybody, like, doesn't trust Naegi. And from what he explained, he just believed that these kids had a second chance. If he was able to remove Junko's despair influence out of them, then thus that would make them back to being on the hope side. And he thinks that it actually worked ultimately at the end of the day. And then also he ends up revealing his weakness to literally everybody there, because he was on a freaking microphone and just broadcasting it to everybody that, hey, my weakness is I can't run. He's gonna have a heck of a time trying to get out of the situation that he's in right now, because he pretty much invited Munakata to come meet him, and Munakata ain't having it. And the thing is here, I actually understand Munakata at this point now. Granted, to me, his action and his resolution and all that, it teeters between hope and despair. Because the thing is, he believes in power. He believes in, that's his hope. He hopes to have the power to be able to stop, you know, the despair and get this crap all out of here. Because the thing here is, what's different between Munakata and Naegi is that they had two different levels of despair. Like they went through some crap, but Munakata went through worse. Like Naegi, you know, he was playing around with Junko and he was in the classroom and he was, you know, relatively safe for the most part in comparisons to what Munakata had to go through. Munakata was actually on the outside and was fighting the despair group and just, he was having such a hard time. People were dying. People were just, it was much harder for him. Thus, he just believes that Naegi just is too green. He doesn't understand what true despair actually is. That's why he can't even listen to Naegi, because Naegi's trying to, you know, tell him about, he has hope for this, he has hope for that, and he's just like, I don't care, because you're not understanding what true despair actually is. Naegi is hopeful, and he wants to be able to change people's, idea. He wants to make the despair people hopeful, you know, not be this way and everything like that. And he'd rather not have to fight. But Munakata wants to fight. He wants to get rid of this whole thing because he thinks that it's just there's no other way. And he also thinks that Naegi's gonna be an issue because with how Naegi's ideology is, and that he thinks he can turn people around and get people all this hope. And when he gives people hope like that, and they go out here and go fight the despair group, what Munakata believes is that he's just going to rile them up just to get them killed. And Munakata rather give them the tools, the essentials, and everything that they need to be able to actually fight and do what they need to do to take out and eradicate the despair group. But like I said, that's why it teeters on hope and despair, because he can easily fall into despair real quick with how he thinks. So it's very interesting what we have here, though, with the two different type of ideologies and two different types of hope that we actually see here in the show. And the funny thing is, I can't necessarily say that Nagi's is in the full right and Munakata's in the full right either. You know, to me, they really should honestly work together. But you know, they're not going to do that, because I think he really still believes that Naegi killed, you know, his waifu for life with that one chick that I don't remember the name of. And he just can't trust Naegi because of, you know, his ideology and how dangerous his ideology could actually become. So I like the whole ideology between the two, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this is actually all going to go. I'm still curious of who in the heck is actually controlling Monokuma at this point too, because Junko is dead, right? Like I said, there's a lot of mysteries. I like to see if there's even more like despair people within the groups, or even the people that Nagi's supposedly saved. Maybe they're still part of the despair. Like I'm just like, there's still a lot going on. There's a lot of interesting stuff that can honestly happen, and I'm just looking to see where we're gonna be going with this, because there's a lot of promise with this. And I just hope my waifu for life survives this whole thing. God dang it, she gotta live, man. I'll see you for the win. So yeah, leave a comment below and tell me what you think of this week's episode of Danganronpa 3. Like this review, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more Danganronpa 3, the future arc reviews from me. So this has been the Thabreakmaster, and until then, people, break out.